On this week's edition of Titan TV, we take a deeper look at standardized testing and advanced placement requirements. This and more is up next.
Good morning, Titans. It's Friday, April 4th, and you're watching Titan TV. I'm Krishawn Wilson.
And I'm Allie Boney. Standardized testing has undergone great changes over the years. But is it possible to be too focused on the TEKS?
Beginning with the class of 2015, the state of Texas transitioned from the standardized TAKS test to the STAAR test. Along with the STAAR test, most high schools in Texas also require students to take final exams. However, Frisco ISD is the only school district in the DFW Metroplex that no longer participates in these semester tests. This raises the question, are teachers preparing us for these standard tests, or are they preparing us for our future?
The STAAR test has been aligned K through 12, so I think it's a better assessment than we've ever had in the state of Texas, whereas TAKS was very departmentalized in their testing and assessment. STAAR is growing on itself from the moment students walk in our door in kindergarten and how they progress for the readiness standard and supporting standards all the way through to 12th grade.
Although the standards have been raised, STAAR is a better assessment of students' progress throughout the year. Students that are falling behind can easily get the help to obtain the level of expectation.
I think to a certain extent, students have been taught the test because it's aligned to the TEKS, which is the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, which is necessary for students to learn certain contents. I mean, you have some students that don't do well in testing that go on to do well in college. I think a lot of it is a combination of things. It's not only the assessment part, but it's also the teacher and the dynamics of the classroom and what the rigor of the coursework and what they learn in the classroom.
According to Save Texas Schools, STAAR tests are written 3 Lexile levels higher than the TAKS and must be completed within 4 hours. The stakes are higher, but teachers have prepared students to take on the challenge of STAAR as well as the college workload.
I think that the STAAR tests are a little too easy for most people, but I think they're a good representative on what we should know and what should be required. My teachers have definitely prepared me for college as far as being able to take notes and do well on tests and stuff like that, but I don't think they've prepared me for the workplace because I haven't been able to take any classes about doing my taxes or taking out student loans or anything, so I don't feel prepared in that respect.
The testing skills students are learning will always be useful.
Don't be afraid of tests. I mean, they're going to be a part of your life for many years to come. So just go in with a great attitude, invest in your education, invest in time to do better on tests, and you'll see good things will happen from it.
Your future will be here before you know it. Are you prepared? This is Kayla Ritchie, Titan TV.
Once STAAR testing is over, then comes the rounds of AP testing.
There are a lot of prerequisites for taking AP courses, and not everyone agrees with these requirements.
Among the over 300 courses Frisco ISD offers, 28 advanced placement or AP classes are available for many students to take. However, the majority of these AP classes restrict many underclassmen from taking them, striking controversy over whether or not age or grade restrictions on classes are necessary. I had the privilege of speaking with Centennial's AP coordinator about why such restrictions are in place.
The district is basically who decides what classes students can take at what age level. And the reason that they do this is because, first of all, you need foundational knowledge to be successful in the class. For instance, if you took AP Physics C without taking pre-AP Physics, you'd be lost in the class, and chances are you wouldn't have a good score.
It is important to recognize that, AP classes do require a lot of extra reading, a lot of extra work, and so sometimes younger kids, freshmen, even sometimes sophomores don't have the kind of commitment and work ethic they need to have, the maturity they need to have to be successful. So even with those prerequisites, I think counseling is important so that kids really know what they're getting into and they're ready to tackle that challenge.
AP doesn't care. They don't have a guideline as to when a student should take a test. However, if you look across America, most of the classes that we offer at a certain grade level are also offered in other schools at the same level.
It turns out that affluent high schools like Centennial typically offer more AP classes than those that are not as fortunate. In fact, 77% of affluent high schools offer AP classes, and 57% of those are classified as high AP schools, schools that offer at least one AP Math, AP Science, and AP English class. But despite the district's choice to implement grade restrictions on certain AP classes, several students have expressed an opposition to these constraints.
I believe that AP classes should not have age requirements because the student should be able to choose whether he passes or fails, and it should be his decision whether to take on the stresses of an AP class, and it should be their decision alone to see if they are ready for that class.
I think that a grade restriction on AP classes aren't really necessary because, I am taking AP classes and I will be taking AP classes in the future. And if I personally think that I'm ready for it, I don't want my counselor telling me, oh, you can't because you're a freshman, whenever I know I am capable of being able to go into that class and actually excel in it.
Christina Theokas, Research Director for the Education Trust, suggested that schools need to do more to change their academic cultures to encourage more kids to take challenging coursework such as AP. Also, the College Board found that as more students take AP tests, the percentage of overall students passing at least one test is rising, from nearly 12% in 2002 to nearly 20% last year. Centennial students are fortunate enough to attend a school that presents many opportunities for students to get ahead in their academics, but there's always room for improvement. This is Yulin Kim, Titan TV.
I really need to start unplugging from social media. It's becoming addicting.
You're not alone. Many students have this problem. In fact, Kaylin has the story on teens and technology dependency.
We live in a technology era with access to high-tech information and communication. People are constantly on their cell phones, laptops, and computers. But has this dependency on technology become an issue? Adults, children, and students are connected in a web of gadgets. According to the BusinessInsider.com, 1 in every 5 people in the world own a smartphone, and every 1 in 17 own a tablet. Now people are able to transfer and receive information faster than ever before, saving time and money. Many school districts are seeking to provide a 21st century digital learning environment. In 2011, Frisco ISD began allowing middle and high school students to bring their own technology through a policy of BYOD. This allows students to have technology-aided learning in classrooms. With teacher approval, students can access and save information on the internet, collaborate with other learners, and use tools through Google Apps.
Well, at school, it's been very beneficial because it helps students to be able to communicate with others from around the world, communicate with each other. And if you're using like Google Drive, you can pull up something and work on it from any device, any computer, anywhere that has internet access.
Technology is absolutely beneficial to me here at work. One, it allows me to keep up with students' grades. It allows me to communicate with parents very easily. As far as my personal life, absolutely, I'm thankful for technology and I use it daily.
However, technology has also brought consequences. People are constantly on their devices, distracting them from face-to-face conversation and direct communication. Even at school, students depend on the virtual world of social media and text messages.
You have to keep in mind that if you let technology take over, then it'll cause problems for you. But if you can keep it in check and use it when it's necessary and be able to interact with people in the real world also, then I think it'll be good.
I think that there are some people who certainly use too much technology. I read a study the other day that the average American spends 6 hours looking at a screen, whether it's a computer screen or a phone screen or a TV screen, and 6 hours staring at technology is way too much. You are missing life if you do.
This is Kaylin Williams with Titan TV.
I never realized how much of our daily lives are controlled by simple gadgets.
And while we're leaning on technology to keep our society going, other students are leaning on different technology types to keep their bodies going.
Balancing life is a challenge in itself, but some Titans have even more to juggle. For one student, this challenge is diabetes.
So in a healthy body, what your pancreas does is when you eat, it measures how many carbs and how much sugar is going into your body, and then it produces something called insulin, which will take care of the amount of sugar that's in your blood. For diabetics, like type 1 diabetics, your body doesn't do that at all. And so what I have to do is I have to give myself insulin through a shot or through an insulin pump instead. I was diagnosed when I was like 7, when I was in 1st grade. And basically, I was just having a lot of weird symptoms. Like I was really thirsty all the time. And I was going into the doctor for a checkup, and my mom was like, hey, will you check her for diabetes? She's, showing some weird symptoms. And that's when we found out. I have to watch out sometimes, like when I'm playing sports or dancing, stuff like that. You have to watch out in case your blood sugar can go really low. But as long as you're careful, everything's fine. And you can't really tell. A lot of people are surprised when they find out. Some of the challenges, it's really unpredictable, especially when you're younger and everything's changing. You can't really control what's called your blood sugar very much. And so it's tough, especially during nights, because I have to check my blood sugar in the middle of the night to make sure it's not too low or too high. And so that can just affect me and either my sleeping or paying attention in class, because sometimes it can get bad in class too. Luckily, for type 1 diabetes, I can still eat everything I want. I just have to be more aware of how many carbs are in it. And I have a more healthy schedule, because a lot of people say, you should have really small snacks all throughout the day. And that's what I have to do to take care of my diabetes. So I'm in theater, and so luckily it doesn't affect me too much. But I have to be careful before I go on stage, because that'll be, especially during performances, because that'll be about 2 hours where I'm involved in something, not being able to check my blood sugar. And I usually have to I have an insulin pump, and it's kind of noticeable when you're on stage, so I have to take it off. But luckily, it doesn't affect that. Okay, so the pump is really cool, and it helps a lot, because basically before I got the pump, I had to give myself shots in public, which is really awkward looking, and people give you funny looks. And now what the pump is, it's connected to me through a little port in my stomach, and it just gives a constant monitor of insulin all the time. Every 3 minutes it gives a little bit. So it's really cool. People think it's a cell phone. No one really knows what you're doing. So basically what you do is you have to check your blood sugar. It's something that for diabetics, their body doesn't control. So what I do is I have this little snazzy meter. It looks like this. And then you have to clean off your finger with just a little alcohol swab. And then this is the pricker, I guess, and it just has a really small needle. It doesn't hurt at all. And so you press a button, and then you squeeze some blood out, and you put it right here on the test strip, and then it'll count down from 5, and it tells you what your blood sugar is. So right now it's telling me that my blood sugar is a little high since I just ate lunch.
Living with diabetes certainly isn't easy, but it has molded this Titan's character. I'm Bailey Stone, Titan TV.
It's nice to know that today's technology is actually helping the students who need it.
Here in Frisco, we don't only have to rely on technology to help other students out. Abby has more on the local Miracle League in sports. Stay tuned.
Hey Titans, I'm Aaliyah with your sports update. Sadly, our varsity baseball team has had a tough week at the plate, losing against the Colony 2-3. They plan to come out on top against Little Elm on our home turf. Be there Friday, April 4th at 7:30 for a Red Out tailgate. Our Lady Titans varsity softball team also plays Friday, April 4th at 7 p.m. against the Red Hawks at Liberty. Jordan and Matt have more on sports.
Your Titan track team who competed at the Frisco Relays last weekend, and good luck as they go into the 9-4A district track meet at Little Elm High School next Wednesday and Thursday. Running events start right after school.
Lady Titans soccer made it to the second round of playoffs against the Colony. They fought hard through the 90-minute game, keeping the score tied, but ended up losing while in overtime. Even with the devastating loss, our Titan spirit stays hyped with our boys soccer beating Princeton in the second round of playoffs, with Jordan actually scoring the winning goal in the first half of overtime, making the score 1-0. Wear red and get rowdy to support their next game against our district rivals Wakeland in the third round of playoffs at Memorial tonight at 6.
Congratulations to all that are involved with sports. Now Titans don't just participate in athletics. Abby has more on some students who have a special interest in bringing joy to others.
In Frisco, a sports organization for special needs children has been around for 8 years. The Miracle League offers many different sports for kids to participate in, from football all the way to bowling. Not only does this league provide a positive experience for the players, but it touches the hearts of everyone involved. Some students here at Centennial volunteer as buddies for the Miracle League and love helping out.
In 2005, the idea of building a miracle field was presented to the Frisco City Council. Once it was approved and construction began, the next step was finding players and volunteers. They soon found just enough people to run the program, and now, 8 years later, they have a great amount of faculty, players, and buddies from all over Frisco.
I joined Miracle League because I wanted to do something to give back, and it's something so small as just playing with them, one game on a Saturday.
Well, I became a buddy because in 7th grade I was looking for a way to become involved in the community and help other people.
It makes me more grateful for what I have, and they're so nice and them, and they don't make it have a negative impact on them. They are always smiling and they don't care, and so it makes me feel better about what I have.
Buddies are just a small part of how the Miracle League runs. Without the hard work of faculty members and the support of parents, this program would not be the success that it is today.
There are 1 out of every 12 kids who aren't allowed to play in regular baseball, softball, basketball, soccer leagues. We are that opportunity for those kids. Our goal is never to say no.
I got involved in Miracle League because of Jared when it first started 8 years ago, and we started with baseball. It makes me feel good to watch him play, but then just to watch all the kids play, because we like to see they have the same emotions and same excitement as anybody else in any regular sport.
It just makes me feel happy and excited that she gets to do it. So it's really cool to be able to see them come out and have fun and have buddies to help them play.
The dedication of the people involved pays off when the kids take the field and get to experience a normal part of childhood.
They're pretty good, yeah. I like them a lot. They help me out with stuff like getting the ball when it's on the floor and stuff.
It is truly a miracle to see how much this league changes lives. I'm Abby O'Brien, Titan TV.
That's it for this week's edition of Titan TV.
Have a great weekend, Titans.